Alright guys, we've been kind of hinting about this, and you guys have seen it already in a couple of our videos, but we picked up a new unit, and yes, it's not an 850 or 1000, it's a wee little baby bike, but picked this up. This is a new trail unit for next season. It's Bone Crusher's kind of more of a purpose-built mud bike, so I've gone in this direction. So we picked up, this is a 2021 Platinum Touring 570 with the one-up seat on the back. So far it's been a pretty strong unit. We had it out on the trail a few times, done a couple rides with it. I mean, it handles great, the power's there. And I know it's not an 850, cut me some slack, all right? We all can't drink fuel the way the 850s do. But I mean, absolutely strong unit. We've, first thing we did right out of the box, stock tires come off, put on a set of 27-inch Zillas. Something for a little bit more aggressive for the trail riding that we do. Got some knuckle guards on it. There are more modifications that we are planning on doing with it. It is going to get a snorkel kit. That's kind of a necessity where we go and what we do. This is not going to be a purpose-built bog bike. This is going to be the Sunday trail ride, take it easy-ish, because that's what I do. But yeah, so this is going to take a little bit of the pressure off of Bone Crusher having to perform every weekend on the easy trail rides. We know that the high lifters are not great for suspension. They're a rough ride. You are beating the crap out of yourself. So this is something more for family days. Got the one up, so we're legal to ride the roads with a passenger. We got all the bells and whistles. We're actually, later on this afternoon, we're gonna dig in. We got a winch that we're gonna install in the front of it, because that's kind of a necessity where we go. But like, I'm absolutely blown away with the way this bike performs. But we've had it out and I was catching air with it. It was like riding a pillow. The suspension is awesome, can't complain about that. Having a passenger on the back, Corey literally sat on the back of this bike and sat on the back of the bike comfortably.
It's nice.
Yeah. So like, I mean, the way they set this up, it's comfortable for two grown adults to go on a trail ride and not fatigue yourself. They also, with the Platinum, they went a little bit longer on the chassis. So the chassis has been stretched, I think it was 6 inches, don't quote me on that. It's 5-6 inches somewhere in there longer than the chassis for the high lifter. But what I found the most comfortable about it was they did these step ups integrated into the floorboards, and that makes it so much more comfortable. It's just at a nice spot. You feel nice when you sit on it. Like, you're not even stressed at all. Like, I'm 250 pounds and I'm quite comfortable sitting on the back of this, and I can sit here all day.
It is a comfortable unit.
Oh, and the power of the 570, you think, oh, just a little baby bike. It will literally outpull Bone Crusher on a straightaway. Like, it will get down and go. I was really surprised. The downfall was the stock tires that it came with. I'm not a big fan of them. I'm sitting over here. They're just stock CSTs, but there's no tread to them. So I mean, it's great if you're riding on a fluffy bunny trail, but where we live, like, that was the biggest downfall, was the tread on the tire just didn't do what we wanted it to do. So I went on the old Webernet and on the old Facebook Marketplace and got a really good deal.
Zillas are a nice tire.
It's great for the trail, but if we get into a little bit of mud where we gotta play, it's gonna play just as good as we need it to play. So yeah, we're a lot of nice stuff on it. I am planning on putting front and rear bumpers on. We are gonna put a snorkel kit on it because that's a necessity. I thought about putting rad relocate on it, but for the 2021s, they actually changed the way that they mount the rad. It used to be on a back angle.
Can I get a shot of it?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough, but
yeah. So now they've mounted it on a forward-facing angle. So I think that we're gonna try it anyways. We're gonna try it this season. We're gonna see how it goes. If it becomes a problem like the other Polarises that we have in the fleet where the rad's getting blocked off and we're overheating, then we're gonna put a rad relocate on it. The only problem I see with doing that is you lose the functionality of your work box, having your snorkels, rad relocate, and on this bike, the back box is kind of small. And we both know that back boxes take a little bit of a beating and they're not watertight anymore. Might have ran a high lifter into a high lifter, causing problems like that once before, but it happens.
They don't seal anyway.
So I'm really hoping that with the rad placement that we're not going to have to go with the rad relocate, because at least with the snorkels you'll still have access to be able to use the box somewhat, that not fully functional, but...
This 570, what would you say it throws down, like the old 800s?
Yeah,
it's powerful for what they are.
Yeah, it's like, it definitely feels like an 800. Like, I mean, when I say, like, I've lined it up with Bone Crusher, and we've jammed on them, and once I get into high end, this bike's gone. I mean, obviously Bone Crusher's clutched and geared different because it's more purpose built, but this bike will get down. I've jumped it a few times, it handled it. I mean, I haven't beat it because we just picked it up. It was late fall when we got it. So we haven't really had a whole lot of time, but we've done probably 2 or 3 trail rides with it. And it seems to perform really well. And the other thing that you can't beat is the fuel mileage.
Yeah.
Like, on a normal day trip with Bone Crusher, we go on a trail ride, that's a tank of fuel gone. This bad boy, quarter tank. So, I mean, it's really nice for that. That's part of the reason why we went with a smaller bike for the trail rides, because not all of our rides are heavy beating in the mud. Like, we've got a lot of really nice trails up here.
Seems to be Elliott Lake's just boring.
Yeah.
No mud.
Yeah, a lot of rocky trails. There's a lot of rock up here in this area. So, yeah. This is one of the new bikes that we got coming in that's going to be on the trail and new to the fleet. And it's kind of nice to expand too, beyond just like purpose-built bog bikes. It's got the nice digital display, power steering. Like this.
Has this got heated hand grips?
No. That was the one option that I didn't go with.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, like, we got really lucky too.
Yeah.
Today I was literally drove to Mid-City Motorsports in Sudbury, Ontario. I'd been on the phone back and forth with them. They're like, if you want a bike, you got to come in, put a $500 deposit down. And I asked him, I'm like, what's the wait right now? And he said, to be honest with you, you're looking 12 to 16 weeks. So in my mind, I was like, okay, it's early fall. By the time we got there, it's going to be beginning of season, be able to roll out a new bike. So I loaded up in the truck, drove to Mid-City Motorsports, got there, and it was first thing Saturday morning. They just opened the door and walked in. We seen this bike, we're looking at it, we're hemming and hawing, and the guy come over and he's like, this is the only bike we have in here that's actually you could buy today and leave with. And I kind of looked at him a little surprised because I know the way the market is with COVID that's not even feasible. So he's like, yeah, and I was like, well, what's the story? How come it's available? So he told me that a guy had come in, put his deposit down, and then the bike showed up on Wednesday. Thursday, the guy backed out of the deal, said, no, I don't want the bike anymore. I've already found something else. Friday, they did all their paperwork, and Saturday morning, they pushed it out in the showroom, they opened the door, and I walked in. So we talked to the guy about it. We decided that this was the bike that we were going to go with for a new bike for the season coming up. And it was a matter of a trip to the bank and pulled out the funds, come back, and we literally left that afternoon with it in the back of the truck, which blew my mind because that's unheard of, especially in this day and age with COVID and everything else going in. So yeah,
I will say,
really lucky.
For a stock rim,
yeah,
those are pretty nice.
Oh, like the platinum is a very, like, I think
like the subtle touches, eh?
Yeah.
Like for the platinum,
Yeah.
like it's
A
those
nice
are a nice
subtle
rim.
It's like it's very well thought out. Like all the guards, everything's all guarded in. Like there's no, like on Bone Crusher, the engine's exposed. With this, it's not exposed. Access to everything is very easy. It's just, as you can see, there's a little bit of evidence of foul play as usual.
Oh, it's misfits.
But, yeah, just a little tiny single cylinder.
One longer.
Yeah, like you can't go wrong with them. I think it's going to be a really good bike, and I'm really looking forward to getting it on the trail and getting a little bit more seat time on it and see if there's, anything that could be improved or something that we don't like. But
yeah, we got to see how it holds up.
Yeah.
It could be a turd. We don't know.
We don't know. We've got minimal seat time on it. Like, I think it's got less than 200 kilometers on it.
But it is, I will say, I've drove it once. It is smooth.
Yeah.
I will give it that. It was one of the smoother bikes I've ever rode.
Yeah, so it's got 213 kilometers on it.
You're not even at your braking yet.
No. So, but yeah, no, I mean, a really strong bike. I'm excited to see how it performs. And of course, we are not gonna leave it stock.
No.
We've got lots. Right now, I'm waiting to see how the aftermarket goes, because there's some parts that are out. But you know, as the 2022s roll out, the 2021 aftermarket will get a little bit stronger. But definitely going with snorkels, possibly going with a lift kit, just a few little things like that. It doesn't need a whole lot, but we're not gonna leave it stock.
No.
No, we gotta change it up. Maybe a little exhaust. I actually prefer it being a little quiet, and I know that's not my style. I know this is like mind blown that I just said it, but it's got a nice little rumble to it, and it's a little more conservative than Bone Crusher. But I think it's going to be a strong unit. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and pushing the limits on it and see what it'll take and where it'll go.
And one thing I do like, I'm gonna put 2 cents in.
Yeah.
When I saw this color for the first time online looking, I was like, meh. But when you see it up close, this is a nice color bike.
Oh,
like, I do like that.
Color. It's like that. It's like a bronze color. It's really nice.
It looks a lot better in person than camera.
Yeah. And I mean, the other option that I was going to go with was like the ivory white. They got a few, they played with their color options, and I'm not a big fan of some of their color options, but the ivory white would never be able to keep it clean. It would not look good. But now when I seen this on the floor, I was like, yeah, this is the one that's coming home with us. So, but yeah, so that's just a little breakdown. I know we've been hinting at it, that we had some new bikes coming in the fleet. And it's just something new for the channel. It gives us something to build on, gives us something to review on, and it also puts us in different places. Like poker run. I'm gonna go on this bike. I'm not gonna beat Bone Crusher up.
It's a little rough on a poker run.
So, but yeah, so no, this bike's, I'm looking forward to getting it out there. I'm looking forward to pushing the limits on it. I'm looking forward to modding it. And yeah, when we get to the end of the season, we'll do a review and a breakdown and
see how it
survived. Yeah, see if it survives, see how it survives, and hopefully we don't have too many problems with it. So, yeah, that's just the little, we decided that we're gonna give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek at one of the new bikes. We do have another new bike. We don't have much footage on it, but
new side by side.
Yeah, it's a side by side. We're not really too excited about it because, again, it's a Yamaha. Yamaha, whatever. But anyways, not that we hate Yamaha. I mean, he could have gone a different route. I'd have more respect for the fella if he got a Can-Am, but he didn't. So, yeah, that's, I don't really have much more to say on it. We are about to step into, we're going to put the winch on the front. And that'll be in another video here to come shortly. But hopefully you guys like what you see, and we'll catch you guys out on the trail.